Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. I want to welcome you to Supernatural Saturdays, and we're going to be presenting a whole new format geared predominantly to meditation, which is going to be utilized to integrate the energies established and manifested during the preceding 5 days during shortcuts for the soul. And we're going to get into that in a couple of minutes. But the new format will be, we're going to do a breakdown of what this week was about for the first few minutes, and then we're going to get into a meditation about integrating the energies that were stimulated in each of us to the level we're able to receive it or be aware of it within ourselves. And then after that, we'll do a meditation that could last anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes to integrate those energies and to give you the opportunity to experience your awareness changing your awareness of your body, your awareness changing your awareness of your mind. And today, of course, is about literally transcending mind, a very first step. You know, at the beginning of this week, we talked about overcoming overwhelming emotions. And for some of us, that can be really difficult. But remember, your body and mind are your servants. They're not your masters, and they can be spoiled little children. If your body's conditioned to have things a certain way, it can be really hard, like a child demanding something in the store. Sometimes you have to keep your body and your mind still in the face of overwhelming emotions. You have to keep it still, keep it quiet, and you keep it there. Don't let it move. Keep your mind still, your body quiet. Keep it thoughtless until it finally quiets down, until it settles under your command. And a lot of people, when they get caught in overwhelming emotions, they want to get rid of them. They want to find some pill, some drug, some way to get rid of this terrible feeling that I've got going on. That is not the way to do it. The way to do it is to train your mind, to train your body to be still and quiet. And persistent, long-term negative emotions are the hardest ones to deal with, especially when they've been ingrained in your consciousness from a very young age and from a significantly charged negative experience. You know, if you go to war, you got shell shock and stuff like that. That's a significant emotional impact on the cellular consciousness, on the senses of the body, which suddenly become alert to that and become really supercharged with the fear of death. This is associated with a trauma like that. Or if you've been in a severe accident or anything like that, your body gets a trauma that it remembers, and so it's on hyper alert. And anything that triggers that triggers those emotions, those survival impulses to become active. And the process is the same, training the body to be still and quiet repeatedly. Every time it goes, oh, you bring it back down, or but no, bring it back down. And only you can do this. Pills and drugs can give you temporary relief, but there's side effects to the body, side effects to health. You want to become the independent master of your mind and body. You don't want to let this outside world continue to govern your state of being. You're here to manifest the state of your being, which is divine, to manifest the expression of yourself through the form. So overcoming overwhelming emotions was day one of last week on Monday. And we offered some simple steps and processes and ideas in that would allow you to begin to start that process of getting the body, getting the mind quiet and still and peaceful. And again, this takes a process. It does not and will not do it on its own. Yes, drugs, alcohol, things like that can sedate the body, right? But then you may poison the body with the drugs. So you want to learn to retrain the body to a mind until the emotional energy you're generating in the body is greater in terms of how you train it to be still and quiet, is greater in intensity than the existing emotions that are running on automatically. The second part of this week were what makes your mind go? What makes your mind go is day two of this week. What makes your mind go? In other words, what makes thought happen in your mind? When you were born into that physical body, you did not have conscious thought. You were pure awareness that was undifferentiated, but you did not have independent thought at that point in your consciousness. You didn't need it because you were all with everything. So what gave you thought? Usually stimulation from your parents, your environment, physical P's and Q's that happened, began to build a framework that you called thought. Mommy and daddy gave you a name, and over a period of time, that name became an idea in your mind, and suddenly now you're Jimmy or Bobby or Mary or George or Beatrice or whatever the name is. And then, of course, everything else that comes in is thought or idea from radio, television, what the parents saying, here's a fork, here's a knife, sit, stand, come, go. All that goes in to formulate your mind, not your awareness. Your awareness has been and always will be perfect, pure, intact, infinite, immortal, and present. Your awareness will always be that. It's important you understand this when we say that your awareness will never be less than what it is. But you get localized to the content of your mind and you think you are less than that which you are. And our goal is to reverse that process and show you how to do that so you can do that for yourself all the time. So what makes your mind go? Two things. It starts out being the things in the world around you predominantly make your mind active. What people say, what people do, what sounds you heard, what voices you heard, what smells you smelled, what tastes you tastes, what things you saw. That stimulated that mind from the external world, and your televisions and your radio and your programs and newspapers, classes and whatever things you've gone to, nature, birds, built this framework of mind from the outside in. And now you have this outside mind suddenly in your inner mind. And as you grow up and you become aware of your separateness from thought, you suddenly become, I have these thoughts. I am now looking at these thoughts. I'm aware of these thoughts and I'm aware of these memories, these thoughts and these memories I'm aware of. And at that point in your consciousness, now you can start to reflect on what's in your mind and you can recreate states that the world originally triggered you to believe. In other words, what makes your mind go are either stimulation from the outside or your interaction with the information that you acquired from the outside. You can be activating, you can be sitting by yourself and suddenly a car horn blows outside and suddenly you find yourself remembering that car accident you saw, that beeped its horn really loud and you heard that car accident and your mind is suddenly thinking about that and you're thinking about, oh, I was really scared that day. And all of a sudden you're caught in what the mind has been triggered from the outside. And now you're causing it to be more active by giving it attention internally. And remember, all those thoughts in your mind, all those emotions you've collected are not who you are. They're simply information that's stored in the body through the five physical senses. That was day two. What makes your mind go? So it's either outside stimulation that activates your mind, like I say to you right now. Think of a Canada goose, and all of a sudden your brain presents to you this image of a Canada goose. If you've never seen a Canada goose, then your brain will present to you the goose that you remember from your five physical senses storing that information in your body. Or if I say to you, think about a mongoose or a boa constrictor, your brain presents the information in there that's stored in there. So it's important to understand that your mind can be triggered into action from outside stimuli, but it can also be triggered by how you interact with that information internally. And most of that information in your mind is from your past. It's not from who you are right now. And the goal for today is ultimately to get you to a place where you can transcend your mind, begin that process of liberating yourself from your attachment to the contents of your mind. Hi, everybody. I want to welcome everybody here. I want to welcome our new people, and I want to welcome everybody who's been following along this week. Day 3 this week was the doorway to freedom. And we said that the doorway to freedom was first could be established through learning to train your body to be still and quiet through breathing, actually using your breath to train the body to be still and quiet, to train the mind to become still and quiet. And at that point in the process, when you're aware enough to literally train your body to be still and your mind to be quiet, that's when you start to become free from the dictates of the senses. And you then get a chance from that perspective to begin to identify what kind of a world do I want to create? What kind of a world do I want to create that's independent of what I've been taught to think or believe that life is supposed to be? Because most people are living life according to what they've been taught to think it's supposed to be. Money is evil. This is bad. This is good. This is hot. This is cold. Those are just beliefs, but they're not who you are. But you have them in your mind, and you've got to learn to be conscious enough to edit, delete, add, and subtract beliefs so that they suit the evolution of your consciousness through this physical expression called body-mind. And then we got into what are you being right now? What are you being right now was on Thursday. What are you being right now? And what you are being right now is whatever you're putting your awareness on. If your awareness is on your body and you're thinking about, oh, I feel this pain, suddenly you're being body. If you're thinking about, oh, I wonder how so-and-so is doing, you're being a memory in your mind about so-and-so. But that is not who you are, but that is what you're choosing to be in that moment. Who you are being now is something that's separate and independent from thought, but does not exclude thought. Who you are being now is an awareness that has the capacity to expand and extend your consciousness beyond the five physical senses so that you can actually be aware of the space around your body. And you can be aware of the space in the entire solar system. You can sense and be aware of that. You can move your awareness to different points of time and space And it's so important to understand that process. That you can move your awareness just like you can become aware of your left big toe or your right shoulder or your left butt cheek. You can easily move your awareness throughout the body because you've been conditioned to think that your body is who you are. But the body is just an instrument that we are all using. It's not who we are. And we can affect changes in the body that the body cannot affect over itself, right? Because we are at a higher frequency, and we can direct the consciousness of the body. You can direct the consciousness of your body, even in conditions where there's damage to the body, where something seems to be not functioning. If you understand how energy works, how awareness works, you can train the DNA in the body to function differently. And there's a beautiful story. If you go onto YouTube and search a man after 25 years gets out of a wheelchair and walks. And you see the story of a man who's been in a wheelchair, paralyzed from the waist down for 25 years. And through a process of training, he learned to re-instruct the consciousness in the body to function differently. Remember, you've got cells in your body that are differentiated and undifferentiated cells. And those undifferentiated cells are waiting for instructions, and usually those instructions happen automatically. It becomes an eyeball, or it becomes a liver, or it becomes a left big toenail. Cells that are undifferentiated can receive instructions not just from the autonomic nervous system, but they can receive instructions from you, where you can actually turn to the cell and say, I want you to regenerate the movement in the left hand and make it stronger and healthier. And you continue energetically and emotionally instructing the cells, because remember, emotion is energy in motion. And when you're directing an emotional energy into the body, cells react. It's like if I get excited, the body gets excited. Watch people when they're in a certain mood, their bodies will react a certain way. They're angry, they're joyful, they're sad. The system reacts according to the emotional energy that you convey through it. And most people do not understand that they can choose the emotion they wish to convey through the body. At that point in your awareness, you then have the opportunity. You have the opportunity to get into an emotional energy that represents the condition you want the cells in your body to take on, a more vibrant, vital state. I want the spinal cord to heal perfectly and strong and powerfully. And you want to start instructing the cellular consciousness with an emotional energy to carry out a new set of instructions so the body begins to change and represent that which you needed to represent. We already know this. In stem cells studies, they show very clearly that stem cells can be trained to become this. A scientist can tell a stem cell, become that. But you can do that from within your own body and awareness. You can instruct cells how to function differently. I've worked with people. I've experienced it myself. I've watched how people have carried that out. And like I said, the gentleman in the wheelchair is another example of that. When you give a new emotional energy to your body, it begins to change. It has no choice. It reacts according to energy. And emotion is energy in motion. Emotion is the fifth state of energy. Important to understand that. Then on Friday, we talked about coming back to now. How do you come back to now? Because you as an energy, as a spirit, as a being, as an awareness, always exist here and now, but you can localize your identity into the belief that you are of a certain time, or that you are a certain fragment of time, or that you're a certain individualized identity. But when you move yourself into the awareness of being now, you liberate yourself from that process. Just going here. Thank you very much. We'll get to questions and stuff in a minute. And so today, when you come back to now, we always emphasize breath, meditation, and learning to train your mind and body to be still and quiet. Only you can do that. You can certainly get a pill or a drug to chemically make your body be different, which will affect the way your brain will chemically be. Or you can assume authority over your temple, your divine temple. This is what your physical body is. It's a divine temple that you can assert your dominion over, your awareness over, to train it to be that which you need it to be. And with that being said, we come to today, which is transcending your mind, a first step. And that will be the meditation today. But let's take a few questions that you might have from what we've said thus far, so that you can begin to formulate for yourself what you need to take from all of this. I want to say hello again to everybody for coming by. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and like this video so that people get drawn to it so they can experience it too. Get this workout here. I'm just scrolling up to the top. Wow. Hi, Shekinah. Hi, Giovanna. Angie. Good morning, everybody. Wonderful to see everybody. Yes. Good morning, artist. Uh, mm, Hi, Lisa. Welcome. I want to welcome you to the channel. Also, when you want to ask a question, just please write question in front of the question, because I get a lot of information scrolling up and down the screen. And if I see the word question, it triggers me to pay attention to that thing specifically. But Lisa's asking, may I ask what I should focus on for success? My art, my writing, and my book, and or my clothing line. Thank you. Much love. This is a great question, Lisa, and we really love when this question is asked, because it's a very simple answer. Remove the or from the equation and just put and. Do this and this and this and this. You will immediately release conflict from your mind. The minute you go, I can do this and this and this and this and this. Highly functioning souls that come into material matter don't do either or, they do and. Highly functional individuals that come into this physical form, this physical reality, don't do either or, they do and. I do this and this and this and this. The order and arrangement of those things may vary according to what your awareness is of what is valuable and important in the moment. But that you must become aware of what that is as an awareness. If you try to figure out based on measurement and purpose and what's right and what's not right and how it's going to go, you're going to create additional confusion. So we would suggest to you that you consider doing that which is in front of you at the moment, and then do that until you feel satisfied, and then move on to the next thing and do that, and then and do that and do that, and learn to train your mind and body that there's all the time you need to do these things. Prior to coming live today, there's a range of things I had to do up to the last minute, and there is no sense of hurry or fear in doing what I do, because I do this and I do this and I do this and I do this and I do this. I don't do this. Should I do this or this? What happens if I do this first or this first? I don't do that. I just do this and this, whatever's in front of me right away. And Buddha always tells us about this. He says, chop wood, carry water. You're right in front. You're in front of the axe. You got the wood, chop it. You're thirsty, carry water. What it is you require in the moment should determine your actions. What it is you require is an awareness, what the moment calls for. And that requires that you be differentiated from the contents of your mind, because your mind will tell you, oh, it'll be better this way, it'll be worth this way, it'll be that. Your mind will do all kinds of things that it's programmed to do, and it's not who you are. You're a divine sentient consciousness, and when you expand your awareness out to embrace more of space-time, you move yourself into a position where you will deliberately and articulately be able to do things in a natural order without worrying about the next thing. Stay in the present moment. Be with the writing, or be with the poetry, or be with the clothing manufacturing line, but choose to be with them in the order of the moment that you're with each one. If you find yourself a little bit of time, what is it that you're, as an awareness, feels right to you to do? I usually just do what's in front of me to do, and then I just keep doing it, and it leads me to the next thing, and it leads me to the next thing, and it leads me to the next thing. So I don't have to think about all those things I have to do, because I'm just doing them in the order they come. And that starts to happen naturally and spontaneously when you get your awareness, when you get an awareness of how you want your life to feel. How you want your life to feel. When you get a sense of how it would feel, if these things you were interested in doing, anybody, if anything you're interested in doing, if you knew how it would feel, if it were already completed, if you were at your ultimate result with this thing, if you knew how that felt right now, it is that feeling that will empower you to do them in the order that's required. The idea of them is one thing, but the feeling of that achievement being established in your body will direct the actions of the body. Remember, it's the emotional energy that directs your body. It's emotional energy that directs your body, right? So you want to get into the feeling of how it would feel to be a most successful clothing manufacturer or a highly published and successful author. You want to get into the feeling of that. It's the feeling that determines the actions of matter. Emotion organizes matter. It organizes behavior. And this is true in any and all circumstances. Emotion organizes behavior. And your emotions are either going to be stimulated by within you or from the world around you. Become conscious of what you want to feel. Make a choice. I want to feel joy today. And your joy will determine many actions. I want to experience the feeling of ecstasy when I connect to people. And you will connect to people and you'll experience that energy. So it's the feeling you want to connect to. So remember, connect to the feel, Lisa, the feeling of the energy, because the feeling of the energy organizes the field of matter into expressions of the material world. Hi, Tanya. Is my audio on? Yep, my audio's on. Um, Hi, William, everyone. Hey there. Also, if you want to support this work, please consider becoming a Patreon on my Patreon page. Also, if you have a question that you really want to make certain it gets answered today, you can use the super chats. I get immediate notification that your question becomes prioritized, so you have that option available to you as well. But we do try to get through as many of the questions as possible today, and we're going to be doing the meditation very shortly. So we got about another 4 minutes. We're going to go through a couple more questions here. So, transcending mind, a first step, is the function of today. So remember that. Transcending mind. A lot of people, that word transcending, and we're going to get into that. It's like trans channeling. um, uh, Wonderful. Hi, Bo. Okay, went all day. Okay, there we go. Somebody's having technical issues. I see you getting help. Good. Giovanna, Jesus, can you talk a bit about faith? Let me call him in. This is a good one. Hang on a second here. It is important you understand faith. Faith and knowing are very closely related. But knowing that which you are, that you are one with an infinite intelligence that loves you, knowing that your thoughts and your ideas set it into motion on your behalf, that you ask it for what you need and it will provide you with what you ask. If you understand this, then you have faith in the process that which you wish to have shall be manifested for you on your behalf. You do not have to wonder about time or space. You know by the very nature of asking. You know by the very nature of asking that it will be delivered to you. That it will be delivered to you. There is no question or concern. Your faith is in the knowing. Faith is in the knowing that this infinite intelligence gives you life. You sit there in that body right now, and you can feel that heartbeat if you put your hand on your chest. You know that that heartbeat's there. You have faith in that heartbeat. You don't expect it to stop. You have faith that it will continue to beat for you. But so too does the Creator that offers you its life through form, but also through matter, will do the same for you in any regard. For any regard. Faith is in knowing that it will always work, that you do not have to know that you are going to get what you're going to get or receive what you're going to receive, because your faith in knowing that it does this, it works this way, is your freedom. Faith is the freedom to know. Faith is your freedom to know. Wow, cool. Thank you very much. That was a great question. Wow, hi Drusilla. Thank you for that $20 donation. Any messages from my dad, mom, or my son Michael? Wow, I get Michael coming in really strong. Just the tears of joy that you feel me. The fascinating thing that it is, when you think of me, I am aware of you. When you think of me, I am aware of you. He's wondering where he is when you're not thinking of him. I'm just telling him to pay attention to you. Yes. When you think of those that have left time and space, please understand, the minute you think of that individual, you call their awareness back into an awareness of self as that individual. And in that process, you remind that awareness that it is not simply the body, but tears of joy to you, Drusilla, from your son. Yes. I'm alive, he says. I'm alive. I'm alive. And this is so true. I love this sensation that I get to experience. Thank you for asking for that. From your mom and dad, I just see them. They're around him, like arms over his shoulders, and just smiling. They're very proud of what you've done. This one, they're saying your son. They're very proud of what you've done. They love him. They love you. This is interesting. Very similar, the goosebumps and energy and the heat from Master Jesus just pouring through right now. A very fascinating thing when somebody leaves the body, when their awareness leaves the body, when the body ceases to function, localized perception of identity is gone. You don't have the senses to refer to yourself as being an awareness because you think you're Bill, or you think you're Bob, or you think you're Mary Lou. And then when that suddenly turned off, you lose awareness of yourself as that identity. But if you can, and again, we're going to be doing this today, the process of transcending mind, the identity that is your body mind, beginning the process of transcending that liberates your awareness to become aware that you are aware, independent of mind and body. And you'll know this because your body and your mind will experience something very different. You'll feel a different energy in your body after this meditation today. Wow, thank you for that question, Drusilla. I really, really appreciate that. Hi, Kira. You're welcome, Lisa. Bo is asking, in a meditation during class, I had a geographical location come up in my mind's eye that I visited once, but never think of it. Does this mean there is something there for me? I don't know who this is, but they're saying to you, it is not the place that you need to give attention to, but the quality of awareness that is brought back to your attention for you to be aware of. The quality of your awareness is what this place is a symbol for you to remember. The place is merely a memory, is the awareness of a certain aspect of yourself that you must resurrect and bring back to conscious awareness now. It is the feeling that you have from that place that is the feeling of who you are to a degree. So use the memory only for that process to remember the sensation of your expanded self that this place reminds you of. So I'm hearing that to mean the vibration, the feeling of that memory reminds you of a sensation of your own being. Could be joy, could be love, could be excitement, could be fun, whatever the energy of your being that represents. Because remember, the brain works through symbols, right? It provides information. Your body can only provide with information based on its framework. So if you're identified with body and mind, then you can get symbols or representations to trigger an awareness of your awareness that you wouldn't normally have. So please let us know how that goes. What is the awareness that memory triggers for you? And connect to that. Thank you for the $5, Bezalel. Robin, does my father, Bob Way, have any message for me, especially concerning mother? He's just smiling. He's smiling and he's got his hand out. He's just smiling and he's got his hand out. He says, I'm waiting. I'm waiting with joy. And I want you to be joyful too. That you are helping her with this walk. You are helping her to walk without fear to me. Yes. Yes. Thank you. That's wonderful that you can be there for your mom to help her walk safely towards that dimension of being. It's really funny when two individual awarenesses have a strong bond through physical body, they can reconnect out of the body as individuals at that point. Just as when you reach out to your, just as when Drusilla reached out to her son and her mom and dad, immediately when you put attention on, there's a connection, and they suddenly become aware of each other too. And once you're self-aware, you're in a position to then create and change and alter the conditions in which you exist, whether they're in this physical dimension or the non-physical dimension. Very fascinating. Wow. Puja. It's funny. He came through right away. He says, Puja, you must put away your tears and put away your fears and remember your love. Remember your love. I do not refer to something that is outside of you. I refer to that which you are. Remember your love. Not your love. You are love. Yes. Remember you are love. Put away your sadness and tears. I love that. Thank you, Master. I appreciate that. Wow. Here's this cell phone. I want to talk a little bit about this thing called death that we talk about. This is a cell phone. It's a communication device. It allows me to connect to anybody in this dimension. wow, isn't that amazing? I can connect with this physical device to anybody in this dimension, anywhere in the world. If I take a hammer and I smash this device, does that mean everybody in this world is gone? Does that mean I can't connect to them? It means the mechanism that I'm using to connect with everybody in this world is not functioning. But I still exist. I'm still here. And I know you're still there, but I just don't have a device to communicate with you. And your angels, your guides, loved ones who left the physical plane of consciousness just don't have a mechanism or the awareness to connect to you. Guides and angels have the awareness of self still. They have not lost their self-awareness when their physical body was transformed. They did not lose their awareness, and it's because they didn't lose their awareness, they can still interact with us. That's why you can call on Archangel Michael and you can feel his energy. You can call on Master Jesus, you can feel his energy. You can call on Joan of Arc and feel her energy. And it's the awareness that you want to cultivate. That's why this first step of transcending mind is so important today. And the meditation will last about 15 to 20 minutes. And again, we're encouraging you to participate as fully as you can, and allow yourself to allow your body and mind to let go and to stay present and aware of your experience, of the experience. This is, again, getting you to the position where you begin to transcend. You begin to transcend the thoughts. That doesn't mean you get rid of them. You just are not subject to them. And transcend the emotions connected to them, so you can be aware of them instead of lost in them. Once you're in that position of awareness over them, now you have choice. Once you realize, wait a minute, these intense emotions I'm feeling aren't who I am. They're just memories stored in my body from those past experiences, and I can begin to actually change them. And you go through a very gentle process, and we're going to walk through that in just another minute or so. Yes. So Tanya is asking, this is a very important question. When you leave this body, are you the same person or personality from this life? We have many lives. How do we know what person it is? Hope I make sense. Tanya, you make absolutely perfect sense to this question. It's one a lot of people have asked, especially during readings and stuff. Remember, the body is the medium of expression that you use. The individual personality that you've become accustomed to being becomes a part of your infinite framework. In other words, your awareness of all aspects of yourself, whether it was from 50 lifetimes ago or from another dimension, the experience of awareness is always with you. The awareness of your experience is always with you, all of the individuals. It's all contained within you. But in your expanded state, you don't need any of those, because in an expanded state, you are all that is in your most extended state. You move in that state of bliss or samadhi or oneness or beingness. Then you are all that. You can move your awareness to any point in time and space and suddenly remember, oh yes, I was Julius Caesar, and oh my goodness, I was Mother Teresa in that lifetime. You can then begin to become aware of that. But yes, you can actually choose to maintain an individualized expression, much the same way as Michael and Jesus have, or Buddha or Zariel or Gabriel, right? Or Metatron, or the Pleiadians that can move out of their bodies and move their awareness to different points of time and space and join us here. So yes, you can maintain that individual identity, but you might find it more beneficial to maintain the identity but not lose the awareness of your expanded self. And again, you can be the particle, you can be the whole, you can be both simultaneously. Your awareness has no limit in terms of its capability to encompass and embrace an understanding of all points of time and space, both linear and nonlinear time and space. Awareness is the key, and emotion is the energy, right? Thank you. So the meditation, we'll give you a quick breakdown on how it's going to work. Very simple. We're going to have you do a few really slow, deep breaths. And with each breath, when you exhale, we want you to pay particular attention to when you physically exhale, because that is when you are releasing tension from the body. When you inhale, you're drawing energy into the body. Literally, you're pulling energy into the body. And when you're exhaling, you're actually releasing stored tension, energy out of the body that doesn't no longer need. It's why you'll see animals when they go to relax, or you sit down in a chair and you go, right? But this process of breathing is very simple. We don't do complex. Complex does not make it easy for people to understand things necessarily. So we're doing very simple here. What is this? Okay. So 3 long, slow, deep breaths. We'll breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Pay attention to breathing in. You're going to hold your breath for a few seconds when you take it in and become aware of the tension in the body. And then when you exhale, become aware of how it releases and how the muscles, the nerves, the organs automatically relax. You don't have to make them relax. Try it right now. Just do a test breath. Go. And then exhale. You don't have to make it relax. When you exhale, it automatically does that. It's part of the hardwired programming in the body that when it exhales, it releases tension. So we're going to do 3 slow, deep breaths like that. And at the end of the third breath, you're just going to allow the body to go deeper into that state of relaxation. Allow your breathing to assume a normal, natural rhythm for that relaxed state. And then we're going to have you move your awareness into a space in the middle of your head. And in that space in the middle of your head, there's a gland there called the pineal gland. And when you're in that space, whenever you draw a breath in and you hold that breath, you actually increase pressure in the body, which will increase pressure in the cerebral spinal area. You can actually begin to stimulate a little bit of electrical energy from the pineal gland. We're not going to get into deep Kundalini stuff right now. Just a beginning step of beginning to become aware that you are not your body. You are not your mind. You are the awareness. This is a first step, because once you have this perspective of you are the awareness, then when you're aware of an intense negative emotion, you realize that's not who I am. That's an emotion from some memory that's been triggered. And then you can start to actually bring the body to a state when you're in a position of awareness. When we lose awareness, we get identified with a certain emotional state that we get lost in it, right? It's when we think we are that emotion, or we think we are that thought, that we get lost in destructive behavior, self-destructive behavior, depression, suicide. Those are all when we lose our awareness to a finite perspective of behavior. But even in that process, you'll never ever diminish the infinite magnitude of who you truly are. So let's get ready now. I'm going to take a little sip of water. If you've got water, please take a sip of water. Water is an electrical conductor. It's one of the best electrical conductors for your body. I mean, there's other things in your body that conduct electricity, like copper and iron, other things that conduct electricity. But water is the carrier for the electrical current. So you want to make sure you drink a bit of water before we start. In the process of meditation, when you're stimulating your body and your mind into a different state, the brain uses energy very differently. When you're breathing, relaxing, quieting the mind, and you're becoming more aware, your brain begins to process energy very differently because of your awareness. And because it processes the energy differently, you want to make certain it's properly hydrated so that it can make the changes that are going to happen as a result of the change in the state that you're going to be initiating from this simple processing. And again, this is the first time we've ever done this on Supernatural Saturday, but this will be the format of Supernatural Saturday from now on. We'll do a recap of the week. We will do a question and answer. We will do the meditation, and then we'll take a few more questions, and then we'll see you on the Monday. So let's begin our meditation now. So take a long, slow, deep breath. You can close your eyes if that's easier for you, but deliberately breathe right down from the belly and fill your lungs completely. And hold your breath. And then exhale and release. And feel all the muscles let go as you exhale. Just feel them let go. And then breathe slowly and deeply in again. And hold that breath. And then exhale and release. Let the body go deeper. And now one more time. Hold your breath. And release. And allow the body to fully and completely relax on this breath. Let go of any remaining tension in the body. And just feel the difference in the energy of your body. Feel the difference in the energy of your body. How it feels when you deliberately relax it like this. If you want, you may continue to breathe deeply like that to take the body deeper still. And every time you pay attention to the exhale of your body, it'll go deeper automatically. And just continue to allow your body to go deeper. And now move your awareness into the space in the very middle of your head. And just become aware of the space, the sensation of energy in the middle of your head. Now take a slow, deep breath and fill your head with the energy of your breath. And as you exhale, allow all the thought to leave your body with your breath. Just like with your body, use your breath to exhale all the thoughts out of your mind. And just exhale all of the thoughts out of your mind. Use your breath to do this. And feel the quiet in your mind expanding. Become aware of how it feels to have the thoughts leaving your mind. If the thoughts or memories arise again, simply use your breath. Breathe in. And exhale the thought from your mind, like pouring water out of a glass. And just feel how it feels to have your mind going quieter at your request. And be aware of how you are feeling with your body and mind in this state. Just feel how it feels. If the thoughts or the body become slightly active again, simply breathe slowly and deeply. And as you exhale, let everything out of the system, giving your awareness space simply by exhaling tension from the mind and body. Now just become aware of the space that your body occupies. Just become aware of the space that your body occupies, and to the space of your body, think the following thought in a tone of voice that sounds like you mean it. I'm willing to love you even if I do not understand you. I'm willing to love you even if I do not understand you. And repeat that thought 2 more times and feel how the body responds after each thought. Now take a moment to feel that, what the body feels when you extend that thought to it. I'm willing to love you, even if I do not understand you. Now take a moment to allow your awareness to become aware of the life that you remember experiencing in that body. Just become aware of all as much of the past as you can recall being aware of. At this time, just be aware of it. Allow the memories to be there. Just observe them. Different ages, different people, spaces, jobs, places, times. Just be aware of that whole life that you've experienced up to this point. And take a moment to think the following thought to all of that. Even though I do not understand you, I love you, and I will continue to do so. Even though I do not understand you, I love you, and I will continue to do so. And repeat that thought 2 more times. And feel what you are aware of feeling right after you think that thought. Even though I do not understand you, I love you and will continue to do so. Now move your awareness again back to the space in the middle of your head and breathe energy into the body now. And as you exhale, think the thought, thank you. Thank you. And then do one more breath like that. Breathe in deeply. And as you exhale, think the thought, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And just feel the vibration that you're feeling as a result of what you have just done. Feel the vibration. Feel how the cells in your body have responded. And be aware of how quiet your mind is, or how less quiet it is. And be aware of how it feels to be present in this moment as you are. Be aware of how it feels, being aware of how it feels. And then take a slow, deep breath and bring yourself back into this present moment. And when you're ready, very gently open your eyes and return yourself to this present moment. And allow yourself to feel the difference in your energy physically. Also be mindful of the difference in the energy around your body. Because remember, when you do this type of process with your body, you liberate your awareness from being confined to it. You actually begin to expand your awareness out to where it naturally exists, which is not limited by matter alone. So you imagine some of you are feeling more expanded, more relaxed. Some of you may have thought you fell asleep. It does not matter, because each of you will go through the process the way you go through the process. So I want to thank everybody for participating in this for the first time. Each week will build upon the previous week. The goal of this work, as they've told me, is to basically assist people in the process of ascension, awakening to that which you truly are, and then learning to articulate the quality of your awareness into the correct manifestation of your being in this physical dimension. So what you call ascension is literally the liberation of your awareness from being localized to a finite perspective of reality, and bringing a lot more energy, love, joy, peace, creative force into this dimension to help facilitate a transcendence in human consciousness. Unconsciously, it's the human collective unconsciousness that we're working on right now. Because what you're just seeing out in the world is just the human collective unconsciousness playing itself out. So we got to change the unconscious energy for the conscious one to become obvious. And you will start seeing significant changes in the human social manifestation as we work diligently. And there's many millions of beings on this planet working on this. There are also many millions of beings that are not in physical form working with us in this process too. So again, please share your experience. Please share your experience with others that you just experienced. What's the difference in your energy? What's the difference in your being? Did you experience unawares? Did any presence come to you? Just be mindful of the change in your energy. That's what's most important. But sharing your experience with others will give them something to reflect on. I know quite frequently when we are in our classes and courses, sometimes a person will go so deep, they think they leave their body, but they don't remember their experience because they're not in the body to remember it the same way they do with the body. And then someone will be telling them about their experience in the review. And what happens when they're telling the other people, some of them go, oh yeah, I remember that. Yes, it was like same for me. So share your experience to help reinforce this transcendent energy that we're bringing forth into this paradigm of human expression. And thank you again for participating. We're almost done for today. It was perfect. Let's just see what we got going on here. Okay. Let's see. Mr. Richard, Aggie Brady, Jimmy Davis. Hi, Jimmy. How are you? William, blow us a kid. You meant a kiss. Well, to all of you, of course. We love all of you. There is no, we do not see the separation that you may be perceiving. And in truth, there is not that. Yes. Tanya, thank you for sharing that story, because things like that will happen when you leave your mind and body, when you can actually differentiate yourself from the body, when you can differentiate yourself from the thoughts in your mind, you get to come back to yourself. This is the world. Master Jesus says, what does it profit you to gain the whole world. Well, this is the whole world. Everything that's been programmed into you from this world becomes the world for you. And if you lose yourself to the world, you've lost your awareness of who you are as a soul. You must lose yourself to find yourself is a statement, right? But you can also gain the whole world and lose your soul. The process is the reverse of each. So in that process of losing yourself, in other words, differentiating from the body, liberating your awareness from the mind and feeling that more expanded, peaceful state, now you're gaining your soul back. You're losing the world, right, and gaining your soul, right? You're losing yourself to find yourself. And again, it's a process, step by step. And as your mind and body get trained to allow you to direct it more consciously rather than it direct you, you start to become liberated. And that, again, is a process of practice, patience, and perseverance. Well, I can see if we got one or two more questions. I think we got another, we got about a minute left. So I'll take one more question. So, yeah, congratulations, Tanya. I've had that experience too. I totally understand that because what happened to us from the world around us is happening within us. And when we can heal it within, the kingdom of God is within you. And when that aspect of yourself, your father, came up to you and you extended love to it, you transform it like that. When you extend love to any part of yourself contained within the body mind, and that's negative, you transcend it. You literally change it. So basically, Dad was this water, and you extended your vibration of love to the water. The water didn't have to do anything. You're thinking of your love as like a vibration of ice, a freezer that comes to the water, and the water, by the temperature of the freezer, becomes ice. So the minute you extend love to that conception in your mind, you immediately transform it. You begin a process of internal transformation. And one of the reasons I love working with my divine team and these angelic beings and many others is because there's a ridiculous simplicity to how we can transcend the limits of our own minds and bodies and liberate ourselves to the divine estate that we came here to manifest through form, right? Not become limited by form, but to become liberated, to express liberation through the form, freedom. And thank you for that, Jimmy. I appreciate that. You're welcome, Lauren. I'm really glad you tuned in too. So again, I want to encourage, thank you for that wonderful super sticker, Shakina. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's cool. That's cool. What else is going to happen here? So next, thank you very much. Next Monday, I have no idea what's happening on Shortcuts for Your Soul. We don't need to plan. It all happens in divine order, and it literally is in divine order. When you're not limited to the structures that you've been conditioned to believe are real, you are unlimited by the awareness of who you truly are. You get to bring forth a limitless expression of your being into this time-space experience and alter it into the wonder of what you are. Look at the fun that Elon Musk is having. Look at the fun that guy's having. And he's got no limits. His awareness is so expanded, he's got no limits. And that's all it is. He's more aware of himself as an awareness. He's not just limited or localized to body-mind, but he uses body-mind to express the limitless capability that his awareness can translate through it. So you want to become your limitless self, your limitless awareness. And this is the first step, learning to get your body and your mind quiet. And our goal is to ensure that process happens universally for humanity. This is the time when humanity is awakening. We are ascending from being just stuck in matter to being that which generates and alters changes in conditions of matter. And that's happening all the time anyway. But you do not have to be limited to suffering. It's unnecessary any more than you have to be limited by joy. There doesn't have to be a ceiling on it. You can continue to experience more and more joy in your life. You can experience more and more misery. When you see that in the world, people can experience the darkest suffering and the greatest joy. And once you are aware that you are not your body, you're not your mind, you're an infinite soul that can choose to articulate any state of being you want, you suddenly become liberated. You become liberated in body and mind. You're now free to be that which you came here to be. I want to wish you guys much, 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 much love, because I know it's a beautiful Saturday and you've got lots of stuff to do. So thank you for coming out to us. We will see you next week on Supernatural Saturday, and we'll see you on Monday on Shortcuts for Your Soul. Much love, everybody. Bye for now.